Good morning, students, all of you. So, this is the lecture number 4. In this lecture, we will calculate, basically, we will use the Gauss law, application of Gauss law, the electric field due to different combination of charge, different configuration of the charges. First of all, we will calculate the electric field due to an infinitely long charged wire. Debating all of you, electric field due to an infinitely long charged wire. So what is the long charge wire? Suppose this is a long charge wire, infinitely long, and positive charge, infinitely long charge wire. Positive charge is given to it, plus charge is given to it, and it is the infinitely length, means it goes to infinity along this side also the infinity. And due to this charge wire, you have to calculate the electric field at a distance r from it. In this point, this is a point P. In this point, you have to calculate the electric field. Then we are going to use the Gauss law. What is the Gauss law? Gauss law gives the relation phi is equal to E dot ds. That means electric field we can calculate from that one. Total normal flux is equal to total charge inside the surface divided by free space permittivity. So what you have to do? You have to do first, you have to enclose this charge configuration. Infinity charge you cannot enclose, so you have to take a cylinder, imaginary cylinder known as that surface belongs to the Gaussian surface. Suppose this is a imaginary cylinder and the radius of this cylinder is r. We are going to calculate, this is a point r. So this is a point r, and you are going to calculate the electric field in this point P. In this point P. So basically three surfaces are there. First surface, one is the curved surface and two along this surface. But the electric field always perpendicular to this charge configuration. So what will be the electric field? First of all, this is the surface 1 S1. So if you consider this is the surface 1 ds1, and the electric field in this ds1 is along this direction. This is the electric field. For this surface, ds2 surface, what is the electric field? Electric field along this one. For this surface also, the electric field is what? Along this direction. But ds1 direction in this one is along the same line of electric field, that is along this. For this one is electric field along this one, sorry, ds2, ds3, and last this one is ds2. You can take ds2, ds3 in your choice, ds2. Notice here, no flux will emerge from this surface S2 and S1, means this surface and along this surface. Why? Because the angle between the electric field and the surface area is 90 degree for this one. This is the 90 degree, this is the 90 degree. Clear? So no flux will be there. What is the Gauss law? Gauss law, basically you have to remember phi is equal to closed integral E dot ds is equal to total charge inside the surface divided by free space permittivity. These theorems we are going to use, but as we are calculating the electric field, so you have to take E dot ds and this surface. Clear? That means to calculate the electric field at a distance r due to a long infinitely charged wire, you have to consider an imaginary Gaussian surface, cylindrical Gaussian surface, and from this one. Now, right, using Gauss law, what you can write? Closed integral E dot ds is equal to total charge inside the surface divided by free space permittivity. Now this is the linear charge distribution. So linear charge density is the lambda, and what is the length of this cylinder? The length of this cylinder is L. Clear? So E dot ds, total surface integral E dot ds, you can split up total surface area into the three parts. Three surface area are there, so you can write, or E dot ds is equal to First surface 1 S1 E dot ds1 plus second surface S2 E dot ds2 plus surface 3 E dot ds3 is equal to vector obviously there E dot ds3 is equal to total charge inside the surface. What is the value of charge? The value of charge inside the surface is the lambda into L. Lambda is the charge density and L is the length. So lambda into L by epsilon naught. Notice here there will be the no flux through the surface S2 and S3. So you can consider as the angle is 90 degree. So S2 and S3 belongs to 0. This and this will be the 0 as the angle is 90 degree. A dot B is equal to AB cos theta. Cos 90 is equal to 0. So that's why it will be 0. Only E dot ds is equal to lambda by epsilon naught. What is the value? E is a constant quantity. E ds1 cos 0 degree. Clear? So basically E is a constant and surface integral ds1 is equal to lambda L by epsilon naught. Already we have studied in the regular class. So no confusion will be there. Surface integral of ds1, surface integral of ds1 means if we take the total surface area ds1 small portion and if we integrate then we will get total the curved path. So ds1 is equal to what? Twice pi r into L. E into twice pi r into L is equal to lambda L by epsilon naught. L will be cancelled or you will get E is equal to lambda by twice pi epsilon naught r. Very important relation, lambda by twice pi epsilon naught r. Clear? Okay. Next, the electric field due to an uniformly charged infinite plane sheet. From the sheet you have to calculate. Clear? So give heading all of you. Electric field due to infinitely plane sheet, charged plane sheet. So infinitely charged plane sheet you have to consider, and due to that one you have to calculate the electric field at a distance r. Now first of all what you have to do? You have to draw this diagram. This is an infinite sheet. 3D diagram. It belongs to infinity. This side is infinity. This side also goes to infinity. This side also infinity. This side also. And the surface charge density of this one is the sigma. Now you have to calculate, means the total surface area is this one, positive charge given to it. And due to this plane sheet, you have to calculate the electric field at a distance r from this. At a distance r from this, you have to calculate the electric field at a distance r in this point. Now, first of all, you have to take an imaginary Gaussian surface. How will you take? I am taking a cylinder of cross-sectional area A both sides. If we take an imaginary cylinder, this is the imaginary cylinder of cross-sectional area A. This side also the cross-sectional area. And this side also the imaginary cylinder will be there. So dotted line you can take as it is an imaginary. So the surface area of this one is the A, as the surface area is what? The surface area of this and this also. And the total charge inside the surface is what? Total charge inside the surface, if A is the area of this cross-sectional area of the cylinder, then sigma into A will be the value. Total charge inside the surface. Yes or no? Sigma is the surface charge density and A is the cross-sectional area. So total charge is equal to sigma into A. That will be inside the imaginary Gaussian surface. Yes. Now, to calculate the electric field, we have to take flux will emerge through the three different paths. Along this surface, it can emerge. So, electric field will be along this one. And DS1, let this is the DS1 also be the same direction. Similarly, it may emerge through this path. This is the DS2, electric field along this direction from the positive charge to this side, and DS2 will be the, and third one is the curved surface. Where the curved surface is, you can take the curved surface here. This is the DS3. So what is the direction of DS3? DS3 is along this, and electric field will always along this direction. So the angle between the electric field, obviously the vector quantity here, ds also vector quantity. No flux will emerge through this curved surface. Why? Because the angle is 90 degree between the ds and E. Clear? So what will be the field? Total charge inside the surface is the sigma A, and this is the ds2. So you will get the value using Gauss law. Okay, I am explaining once again. Due to some technical issue, some interrupt was there. So electric field due to an infinitely charged plane sheet. This is a charged plane sheet, infinite, and surface charge density is the sigma. To calculate the electric field at a distance r from the sheet, you have to consider an imaginary Gaussian surface, that is the cylindrical surface. The flux may emerge through the three paths. First of all along this direction, second one is this direction, and third one is along this direction. But there will be the no flux along the curved surface. Why? Because notice here the electric field always perpendicular to this plane sheet. So E is along this and ds3 is along this, and the angle is 90 degree. So E dot ds is equal to E ds cos 90 will be 0. So there will be the no flux will emerge along this path. Now write using Gauss law, from Gauss law, what you can write? Close integral E dot ds is equal to total charge inside the surface divided by free space permittivity. Vector quantity obviously there, S. What is the value of the Q? Q is equal to sigma into A. That's all. Q is equal to sigma into A. Now E dot ds, you can split into three parts. E ds1 dot ds1 plus E ds2 plus S1, S2, S3, E ds3 is equal to total charge inside the surface sigma into A by epsilon naught, isn't it? So notice here from the surface ds3 is 0 flux, so this will become your 0. E dot ds1, E will be constant, and ds1 if we take integration plus E will be again constant, ds2 very easy, sigma into A by epsilon naught. So what will be the value E? ds1 total surface area is of this one is what? A. So E into A plus E into A is equal to sigma A by epsilon naught. So A will be cancelled. If we take common A, then this will be cancelled, and notice here twice E is equal to sigma by epsilon naught, or E is equal to sigma by twice epsilon naught. Very important relation. Due to an infinitely plane sheet, charge sheet, the electric field at a distance r is E is equal to sigma by twice epsilon naught. Notice here the distance, it doesn't depend on the distance from the sheet. Clear? So that's all for the today's class. Thank you all.